What's going on, guys? This is Carl, the Racerred channel. I'm out here riding the Hawaii desert. This is really the only riding around the Treasure Valley, in the wintertime at least. It's where we have our low elevations. The soil soaks up all the moisture. It's not too bad. I was researching Silver City there for a little bit. That is a mining town that still exists in these mountains. The descendant of those miners still live there, a lot of them anyway. It was created in 1840 after the discovery of silver. Pretty brutal times, really. But there were a couple shootouts there. Actually, the hotel there had a shootout in front of it. It was like the old hotel owner and somebody else had a dispute of some sort. Decided to settle it in the streets. But at one point, Silver City had, it was like one of the first cities in Idaho to have electricity. It was pretty modernized for that day. The population there was like 2,500. They had 70 buildings, but they had like 250 active mines. It was just going hard there for a while. Slowly but surely, everybody left there. Nowadays, the land itself is owned by the federal government, managed by BLM. The Bureau of Land Management, which is one of my least favorite organizations, currently run by a certified eco-terrorist, Stacy Stone Manning, but that's a whole nother topic. Yeah, eventually, once everybody left except for one person, that one person was like governor slash sheriff slash like the whole government. So once he was by himself, he's like, I hereby appoint myself as everything. You know, he had a couple disputes with himself. The sheriff had a problem with the governor, I guess. Mayor, that's the one I'm looking for. Lots of history in these hills, though. Got one more. Last time we really visited Silver City, that I remember anyway, was my brother and I. It's actually on one of my old videos. But the owner of the Idaho motel, he wasn't very friendly. Kind of barked at all of us for going inside of the motel, checking out the rooms and stuff. I guess I get it looking back. You don't want people randomly coming in and checking out everything while you have guests staying there. But as you walk in the front door, it's so inviting because there's just a little museum kind of feel to it. So you start to wander. You naturally start to wander around in there. Apparently they do tours of the church building. I would definitely enjoy going there and checking that out. By the outside of it, it looks nice. It definitely reminds you of a more difficult time, though. Even with their advancements, it wasn't all rainbows and butterflies. The graveyard definitely tells a different story. I don't think people back then really thought of their hardship as a final thing. A lot of things portray people back then as just brutes, but really I think a lot of them were good solid people. Well, Benjamin Franklin is a good example of that. He was only 100 years before, a couple hundred years maybe. That dude was so smart, it's incredible. Just at the front of my mind right now because I'm learning about Benjamin Franklin and all of the things we enjoy because of him. He had a lot of ideas, just full of ideas. Oh, little ledge going on there. Didn't know how rough that would be. But yeah, there were a lot of smart people back then. Man, you can tell from their journal entries, and that's something that I want to start reading more of. Journal entries. Just people's journals. People's journals don't really lie. Who do they have to lie to? You have to trust that stuff. That's the real history. Granted, some of them may be dramatic in how they speak, even in their journals. They may make things worse than they really were. Particularly a female journalist. But in general, I think you could probably trust most of it. And I know I'm joking. I'm only kind of joking about that. I do think that the women would have more of a tendency to be dramatic with their journals and make it sound like things were way harder than they were or something. Riding with my buddy Kurt today. He was able to go on pretty short notice, which is pretty awesome. Generally speaking, I'm not very good at giving a lot of notice on these kind of rides. Have we been on this? Out here riding the mighty KTM 450 XCF. This is a 17 model. If I don't ever say anything about the bike, oftentimes I'll get that question of what my bike is. This bike has a steering dampener and a revalved front fork to a spring conversion. But other than that, it's pretty much stock. The engine certainly is. It's kind of a cool section. Here's one of the many cool features in this area. Looks like I'm in Utah right now. If only these lasted longer, that would be ideal. If this canyon just went for miles, that would be amazing. This is a lot of fun. That way, I think. That one's called Carl's Canyon. I just made that up.
Alright guys, I just wanted to thank my Patreon supporters. That would be Lance Darnell, Jim Jolson Jr., Kurt Kinghorn, Daniel Roush, Brian Thomason, Wade James, Moto Creek, Nathan Young, Jason Froling. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you.